Alright, Andre, it's project time. So, as you know, I did act trees. So we'll start with, here's my class diagram. We'll start with act tree manager, and that is a scene level manager. It's like the collision manager is. And so, what this does is basically sets up. So in the scene, it's going to set this act tree to the user to its center of the act tree, its total width, and its depth level. And then it's going to initialize it, and then it's going to create the act tree. Now this is a linear act tree, so it is going to be in a node map. So it has like location keys. I'll show you the act tree nodes, probably be helpful. I'll show them. So it has a center, the location key, and then this is I can't show it, but it's a collidable pointer for a linked list. So that creates it, and it stores the location key, which is basically an unsigned int, and it starts with 1, and then you shift it to the left by 3, and then you here we go. You shift it to the left by 3, and then you're gonna order it with the index number, so it's going to be bitwise going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so that way then you're going to add it to the map, and so that way location key is kind of the link, so you can grab the actual user defined objects, which I'll show you. So you set that, and that creates it on site, and it doesn't dynamically create it throughout the game. It's just there. And so when you will go, let's see, let's do tests. No. We're going to go when you register a game object first. So when you register a game object, it's through the collidable, and it's going to be dynamic act tree collision registration. I originally had it where it was static and dynamic, but the static didn't work out. So like you didn't have to keep on putting it into the map, but it didn't work out. So it's only dynamic right now, meaning they would move. So everything gets to the dynamic registration, and so when you register, you submit it, and it's collision. Alright, and so it's going to register to the collidable group, and then it's going to be added to that collidable group. To its set. So it's like big container, and then so it's in the collidable group set, and then it's also going to be registered to the act tree, so it gets added to the dynamic list. So this is what these are for, the plist next, plist previous, and the collidables. It's for that list by the act tree manager. So all the game objects that are going to be registered for collisions are going to be added to this one big list on the ActTree Manager. And so during the scene, where's my update? Here we go. It's going to be updating the ActTree Manager. So go to definition. So it's going to clear the tree. That means clear all of the collidable lists in the ActTree nodes. So these lists are going to be cleared. And then, excuse me, it's going to update the dynamic list, and basically it inserts each object into the tree every frame. And then when it does this, when it finally gets to it, it's going to add it to that nodes list. So this is a node list, and that's what these are for, the collidable node next, node previous. And so it's going to be added to that, and then it's also going to set the location key in the collidable, so we can grab it later, and I'll go over that. So then now they're inserted into the tree, and I can show this real quick. Right. So as you can see, as you fire, inserted, and that's all the nodes, all the octants that are being inserted. Alright. So that updates every scene, and so you insert it in, and then you're also going to update the collidable group. So let's go back to there, and so that's what this ActTree update command is for. So it's gonna submit that to the ActTree Manager. So then the ActTree Manager is going to go through all the collidable groups lists, and then it's going to update its ActTree. So what does that mean? Basically, it goes through its set. So it's group of collidable. So it's going to be like the tank or the pine tree and everything, and then it's going to insert it into its map based on its location key and then itself. And so that's going to happen every frame, because unfortunately with a map, with a multi-map, any map, the key is static and it's not dynamic, so you have to take it out and reinsert it every frame. And so that's why I just erase the whole map and restart over. So that keeps the collidable groups updated. So that's the update part. And so that's the update command list. And then, so then where does the testing happen? Happens right underneath. You process the collisions, and then you're going to test all the collisions. So then when you register, you're going to register the collisions on the same way on the scene. So like a pair in the south. So those are these, and it's going to test the collisions. So when it tests the collisions, it's going to go through basically depth first. So it basically goes into all the octants. So it starts at the root, goes to that one, that smaller one, all those octants in there, and keeps on going. And then it's gonna test all of them at that. It goes down to test all of them, keeping track of the depth of it, and so then when it comes back up, it doesn't test those. So this does that recursively. I probably didn't explain it that well. But it basically goes depth first, and so it doesn't test all the objects. And so, so yeah, the collisions. So if the two, so these are all collidables. If the two collidables intersect, then it's going to go through the collision tests. So then it's going to do all the collision tests, which are the pair and the self, which are basically the same. So the link is going to be the location key, and so remember that collidable has that location key, but the thing was that you're passing in collidable, and it's hard, you can't identify what type it is. So what I had to do was you had create the users to make an enum class, and so when it registers, that collidable will have this type, and then also the collidable group will have this type. And so when it goes to test them out, it's when I'm testing the collisions, I'm going through all the collidables. So it can't differentiate right now what's a tank, what's a pine tree, and it just says, hey, these two collidables, this is the wrong one, sorry. These two collidables intersected. Okay, so let's check if they are registered for the pair, or if they're registered for the self. And so it basically checks if they are registered, then you're going to get the location key and find it in the set of the collidable group. Pop that out. Make sure it's the correct one, because multiple objects can have the same location key. Get the second one, and then it's going to do the collisions. So that way we can maintain the collisions with the template, so we can have like tank against tank bullet or pine tree, and we can access the pine tree data within that collision. And the self is the same. Just goes through the self. So it does require the user to do the enums. And yeah, so it goes through the collisions. Tests them all, and then every frame it washes the tree's collidable list, and insert them again. And so I have my scene is working with my collidables. Only have a minute, so I'll show. So it detects this. Yeah, go game. And here we go. Yeah. And to show real quick, oh no, I don't know if I have time. Maybe I won't have time. Collision, if it's a take bullet. Oh no, I'm gonna run out of time. Well, it's not gonna. Oh, there it is. Okay, it happened. Bye, Andre.